Hey everybody, welcome to your Cancer, a universal astrology message for the month of May. Well, actually it's mid-May to mid-June, year 2019. So I have my tarot. I have pre-shuffled it. I'm just shuffling it a little bit more. And we'll pull out those cards. I hope everybody is doing well. Don't really remember what last month's message was, but if you haven't checked it out, you can check it out. Ooh, there's one that just popped out. So we have 6 more to pull out. Oh, okay, which one? This one is third, this one is second. Whoa, guys, what the heck? Alright, I remember now what your message last month was. End the love scam and stop mothering others. Oh. This tarot have its own freaking goosebumps. This tarot have its own freaking mind. Okay. 3 more. If it seems that you guys have like left those people who have scammed you or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so we have what was that? 6 swords, the Sun, 10 of swords, and then 9 of pentacles with your. I feel that you've become wiser in how you give your generosity to people, especially your time, your energy, your empathy. Seems that you guys learned a huge lesson that enabled you to get back on track to your own divine path. I'm gonna pull out the unicorn deck to support this message. Okay, I'll just show it to you. Like, this is the first card. Usually it's like a birthday. Well, your birthday is after Gemini, so happy early birthday. And it's a journey to a new home situation, and you have the Sun. Like, it's good. And then actually, like, you see you're moving towards happiness, and you're leaving this behind, 10 of swords, and you're taking all of your goods with you. You're taking all of your abundance along with you, and you are wiser in giving charity. You are wiser in giving things and energy to people. You're moving ahead. And it's like you're not juggling, but you're learning to balance how other people perceive you. You're learning to balance how people benefit from your kindness. And you're learning to see how certain people take you for granted, and then you're learning to see how there are people that deserve your generosity, and there are people who don't deserve your generosity, and you're leaving those people and disappointments behind, and you no longer, like, you know, I know that this is a very like fucked up card. Because it's like, look at the 10 swords, like, so betrayed, so maybe exploited, and so run down, and so like being killed, like being stabbed. But there's a lot of polarity in the 7 cards, but it kind of like you have this an inner perspective and then a higher perspective showing to you that, oh, so this is what happens. So this is what happens when you show kindness to people who don't deserve it, because they want instant gratification, because they just want it instantly. They just want to get to know you so closely and so deeply that it's unnatural for you to just open everything up in one sitting, in 1 hour, to just bear it all, you know. So it's an instant gratification of how the people expect you to give everything you have, to love all of them without having healthy boundaries. And you're starting to see like the boundaries that you need, or the ability to recognize unhealthy and toxic relationship exchange. Okay, so let me pull out the unicorn deck. Which is, I should congratulate you all then, because it's a hard thing to do when you are only trapped in the perspective of being the nice person, and like the perspective of needing to be a nice or being a good person, that makes you become preyed on by predators, and you cannot see how your behavior or your outlook in life is self-damaging or self-perishing, because you cannot put yourself in other people's shoes and recognize that, hey, I'm being taken advantage. So you're actually learning on recognizing that there are certain areas of your relationship with people where you show unnecessarily and toxic kindness, where your kindness is taken, like you think you being kind and generous is kindness, but from other people's point of view, you're a sucker. You are easily guilt tripped and manipulated, and like people will use whatever reasons they can to get you to lower your value, and to step over your self-worth and make you feel bad in order to make them feel good. So you're starting to see from a very neutral perspective how certain people see your virtue as a sucker. Like what a sucker. Like she's such a sucker. She believed that I was broke and she lent me this money, or they think that, like, you know, when people ask you for help, and even if you don't have enough for yourself, and then you feel for them and you want to give it to them, and now you're like, you know what, as much as I want to help you and give to you, I have to love and respect myself first. And even though I can give to you, you're not that close enough for me to give that to you, and I don't know you well, I don't trust you enough, or, you know, like, I don't think I'm the person to be your emergency contact, or I don't think I'm that person to be your rescuer. So I think, like, in the past months, cancer reading, stop mothering others, like you're learning to stop mothering others. You're learning to just stand by and watch people learn to pick themselves up, rather than here help, let me help you. Like you're stopping that behavior. You're no longer being duped or tricked or bamboozled, or like being taken as a folly, like a fool. And you're learning not to become a sucker, and you're learning to not let your emotions judge your decisions, and you're learning to step back and look at relationships and look at the situation without being so involved emotionally, because that's how that's the prime target maneuver sociopath use, is emotionally exploiting people and then getting them to be so confused after, and like so blur after, and you're not letting your emotions rule your decisions or judgment, and you learn to be maybe cool and aloof and a little bit arrogant or snobbish, and being proud of that, being proud that you can be arrogant and snobbish and rude and mean or cold and aloof, because you know that it is self kindness for you first to have those feelings, to protect your value. Like, people can't just easily guilt trip you, manipulate you, lie to you, and put so much expectations that, just so that they can get stuff from you. Like you know one new friend one day, and then they suddenly say, "Oh, my car broke down. Can you help me? Can you drop everything and come and help me?" And you realize that that's not my job. I don't know. I only know you for 3 days. I'm not going to, and I'm at work. Example, huh? And you're like, that is how they test your boundaries, to see if you are able to be emotionally panicked, be emotionally vulnerable enough to fall for their trap. And that's how they hook on to you, and that's how the love scam begins, and you cannot get out of it because your emotions are genuinely trapped by their expectations and manipulation and sucking you into their game. I think I sliced it. Should I slice again? Ooh, passion. So you have this, and maybe also the people who have scammed you, they show you so much passion that you fall for their fucking stupid love game. Rebirth. Okay, so there's the rebirth here. You're learning to recognize the difference between passion and healthy love, perhaps, or healthy interaction with relationship. And patience. Ooh, so you have this card, patience. Pause before you take action, which is exactly what people with, because Cancer, you are a water element. Water element, you are very attuned to other people's feelings. Sometimes to the detriment of your own feelings. You don't feel your feelings, but you feel everyone else's feelings. So pause before you take action. Trust that divine timing is at work. Be patient and be patient and play while you wait. So patient, like recognize when people are impatient and forcing you to do things. Recognize when people are pressuring you emotionally. Recognize when people are pressuring you emotionally. And that's where you can really put your feet down and say, no. This is emotional pressure, which you have no rights to expect me to deliver to your personal satisfaction. So my answer is no. I will not be fooled by emotional pressure from people. I don't care. I don't want to be surrounded with. Okay, dragon cards. Let's see what the dragon want to say. It's a big life lesson for you. No matter how old you are, everybody, like, it doesn't matter age. Astrology doesn't matter age, because sometimes people who are 17, people who are 75, people who are 45, they have those type of like different marks in their life where they finally learn a very big, valuable life lesson, a permanent life lesson that tells them, oh, right, so this is my biggest vulnerability. When people emotionally pressure me, I crack, and I let them walk all over me, and I let them use me, because I can't see how they are emotionally pressuring me, because they put so many standards, and they pressure me to meet those standards when I have the power to actually reflect inwards and tell myself, wait a minute, reason says, first red flag, I don't know them that well. Second, they don't have the right to ask me this favor. Third, they're cornering me to force me to help them, and I have the absolute right to scream and fight it off. Like, you have the absolute right to recognize the tardy manipulation and the insidious, heavy manipulation, the heavy oppression to force you to say yes. Because you can look at them and you can say, I don't have a way out, do I? Do I have a way out? Will you back off and let me off the hook? Let me off your hook? They won't do that, because they see your emotion. They see you tune into other people's feelings, and because they don't know how to tune into their own feelings, they would not be able to meet their own needs and desires. So they would always look for people with water element energy who would provide for them. So for you, Cancer, you have to protect your emotional element, your water element. You have to control your water, to control your emotions. And patience, to really connect to patience, is to really let your emotions stand still and observe which emotions you want to connect, engage, and exchange energy with. And sometimes that's how you can see that when you exchange emotions with someone toxic, you realize that you're going to feel very drowny, and you're going to feel drowned, and you're going to feel hard to breathe, and you don't feel happy. And you just look at yourself in the reflection of your phone camera, try to take a selfie when you're around toxic people, and that's a sign that you're not smiling. There's a grimness and there's a sadness, and that's a big red flag telling you you need to get out of their clutch. You need to get rid of them, and you cannot let them scare you to stay with them, because a lot of scam artists, a lot of possessive individuals who are psychopathic, sociopathic, and narcissistic, they scare you so much that you have to stay with them. But you need to dig into your self-love and to your warrior within you and tell them, back the fuck off. I am not going to stay off as your friend. I am not going to be here so that you can exploit me to your leisure, because I know that this isn't the right place for me to be, and you're not gonna stay around me. You have to recognize that there will be people who will want to take a piece of your heart, or your entire heart, because they don't have it. They don't have an emotional peace, inner peace. They don't have the emotional calmness, because their mind is so wretched with anger and past karmic guilt, and they're trying to run away, and they're trying to find other people who have inner peace and to escape into other people's inner peace. Right. Did I slice this? I'm not sure, but I did shuffle it, and I'm gonna pull. Earth and Air Dragon represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Stay balanced. Okay, stay balanced. How to get them out of your energy? Stay balanced. I feel like there's a lot of sacral energy in here, because there's so many orange color, and there's also the sun. Earth and Air Dragon, manifest your hopes and dreams. So stay balanced. Be balanced and be patient. And Gold and Silver Violet Flame Dragon, transmute the all around you with wisdom and grace. So that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of like this polarity in the tarot reading, where you have this kind of like this and this, like this transition to a new beginning, and then the sun, like happiness, joy, new beginning, rebirth. And then suddenly there is this and this, like 10 of swords and then 9 of pentacles. Like you've been betrayed in the past, but what I sense is like, hey, that's what you've accepted that happened, and you're actually learning to become wiser in managing your values, because values is in your sacral chakra. Values, your self-worth is in your sacral chakra. So you're learning to respect the relationship you build and the relationship you create in your life, and the relationship that you know does not serve you. You learn to not be cornered and not be scared to stay in a toxic relationship, because that's called trauma bonding, and it's the Stockholm syndrome, and the person is a sociopath and a psychopath. And you're learning to fight for a new beginning. You're learning to move forward, move ahead, despite this effed up past. You're learning to move forward. And this thing is in reverse. You are no longer feeling bogged down by situations where you are emotionally in despair. So you're learning to transmute your circumstances with wisdom and grace. Okay, so my cards are a little bit messy because I keep showing it to you guys. Okay, never mind. As you can see here, the unicorns, there's so much pink and orange, and this is also pink and orange here. Exactly, it's pink and orange here. Look, orange and orange, pink and pink. Ooh, this one matches my lipstick. Okay, so anyway, next card is, okay. So I hope this message inspires you to keep believing in your journey and healing, to keep believing in your ability to move forward for a new beginning, for a brighter day, for a better day. Is a very good news for you, because the universe is showing you so much that you needed to know so that you can get wiser from the circumstances that kept you locked in unhappiness. You now know certain things that would make you feel liberated. Okay. Okay, 3 cards from here. Faith. You shall have faith for a new beginning. What is this? The worm moon? You shall have faith for a new beginning. Second card, the path. You have a way out. You have a way out of the love scam with whomever you feel trapped with. You have a way out. It doesn't matter if it's new or old, especially if it's old. There is a way out to every love scam. If your soul was trapped, is getting out. If your spirit was oppressed, is getting released and freed. Because of your faith. Because of your faith to believe that it's over, damn it. Like it's in reverse. The sadness, the despair, walking alone is over, damn it. You no longer have to feel emotionally pressured or emotionally drowning in the mistakes that makes you feel trapped in the judgment that you were a fool, or in the judgment like You are not guilty. You are not to be blamed by other people trying to fool you for your humanity, for your virtue, and for your kindness. Exactly for your humanity and virtue and your kindness, if you recognize that self-worth, that you deserve the opposite of what you were trapped in, then you can actually liberate yourself and say, for my virtue and my kindness and my humanity, I deserve the same thing that I've been giving to others. I deserve people who actually appreciate me, who actually values me, who actually respects me, who actually wants to support me and want to show me love too. And then you're gonna start to see a path being born, being just revealed to you, because you've matured and you've earned your badges of wisdom and grace, and letting you to see that, hey, I've done the work. I've accepted what my shadow has been blindsiding me from seeing about myself, about my vulnerability that attracted these people. And I'm learning that as much as I want to be a kind or a good person, it matters how other people perceive me as well. And as I balance how I see myself and how other people sees me, I will recognize that if they are going to take me for a fool, if they're going to take my generosity as a sucker, they are like, oh, they're judging my generosity as them exploiting me. But my intention is that I treat people the way I treat. Whether or not they think they're fooling me, they're the ones who've never appreciated or received such kindness from people like me. And it doesn't define me. So sometimes when unhealthy people comes into your radar and you treat them just as normally as you treat other people, they will take your kindness with a special kick. And sometimes they will take your kindness and backstab you and betray you. And sometimes if they're not toxic, they won't take your kindness in a way to backstab or betray you, but there are going to be people in the future who recognize you're a pearl, you're a treasure, you are precious, and they're going to value you. And the thing is, now you have that wisdom to see how people are going to walk in and out of your life, and you can learn not to be emotionally pressured by people's behavior and demands and expectations, and have that ability to become very patient, to become very emotionally still in order to see people's intention. Become very emotionally still, because this is, for you, Cancer, your element is water, and you have so much water element that it actually debilitate your ability to juggle your emotions and other people's emotions, and then you kind of like get trapped in serving other people's emotions and then leaving your emotional needs behind and empty. So that needs to become clear for you. And creation, Beaver Moon. Creation, it seems that we have passion, and then we have creation, which is like self-worth, value. We have creation, faith. We also have the sun. The sun is also a manifestation energy, rebirth energy, creation, passion. So there might be something that maybe you're creating a new belief about your worth. And that's such a beautiful thing. You're creating a new belief about your worth. Okay, last deck. Last deck. And it's a very healthy and beautiful and wonderful thing where you are creating a new belief. This is yours, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So see, you have rebirth, and you have creation, and you have passion, and then you have the sun. Cancer people, like, you have such a very beautiful, like, even if you're not Cancer, if you're like another sign, because everybody has a little bit of every sign, because it's either in your ascendant, your north node, your rising, your moon sign, and there's like different areas. So some of you may have Venus in Cancer, because Venus in Cancer, we tend to attract men who have mother issues. So that's what I have, Venus in Cancer. And as I mentioned in this tarot reading, yes, I do also have a lot of unhealed and healed and recently healed clarity about ending love scams, ending that idea about what actually is about this. So creating a new belief about your self-worth is so beautiful and special, and I hope you enjoy the process, as I also will, because this is so beautiful and pretty. The sun, the passion, the creation and rebirth. This is like crazy intense. So any one of you, wonderful, all the best. Good for you guys, good for us. Okay, right, so this is the last deck. Let me know your personal stories if you would love to share it. Leave a comment, let me know. I would love to know what you think about what is happening, what you think about learning about these situations with relationships. Let's congratulate you guys. Congratulations for finally seeing the truth about unhealthy people, about toxic people, and learning the truth about how beautiful your self-worth is. Congratulations. Ooh, we got Treasure Island. Remember when I say you're precious, you're precious and something treasure, something wonderful. Oh, breathe. Wow. Breathe. So as they mentioned, channeling the breathing energy. Breathe. Like be emotionally still. Breathe. And then channel your patience, your divine patience, to clearly see how other people see you. How other people see you and what they think about you. You can only do that when you're emotionally still. And then you can make judgment whether they're manipulating you, guilt-tripping you, trying to exploit you, trying to take you as a fool, trying to scam you, trying to dupe you, trying to bamboozle you. You can do that when you're emotionally still and you're breathing. Breathing. Fork in the road. What is that? There's this fork in the road. So this is yep, I'm going to read a little bit from the little booklet, but it definitely matches this one, doesn't it? It definitely, but this one is in reverse. So the last card is like a fork in the road. You have the power to make a decision, to choose a different route, a different highway, a different path, a different channel. You have that ability to choose a different road from the road you came from, the love scam road, the road where you're emotionally manipulated, exploited, and pressured, and you're recognizing that people who don't have emotions, and then they are attracted to people who are very in tune to the emotions of their surrounding. You are very psychic or intuitive and very personally emotionally open to feel the emotions of others, to the point that you might have mistaken their emotions to yours. And that's where breathing, pausing and breathing, helps you to recognize how they feel about you, how they see you, and how they think about you, and what they believe about you. Maybe they believe that you're easily fooled. And then if you breathe and if you look at them, to think, to pause with patience, if you learn to pause, that's a way for you to increase your ability to control yourself and to have patience. A lot of people who have been emotionally abused, they can't take a minute to pause. They're always constantly on another thing. They're always fretting, going on all about, and they're not able to like sit still and look. And one of the red flags is that when you cannot sit still and look at people and feel people, they're afraid that you're going to feel the wrong things about them, and they're going to be found that they are a narcissist or they're sociopathic. They don't like to receive attention where people study them, where people try to read them, where people try to make a judgment of them. That's why they need to control other people's emotions. Narcissist needs to control your emotions. So your kryptonite, Cancer, is how your emotions are very vulnerable and manipulated by forces in the subconscious of other people's secret. They're like dubious people. They're like people with malevolent intent or shadow. They're trying to like always be behind the scenes. They don't want you to recognize or acknowledge their true intention. So that's why they always try to hide how they feel about certain things, but they cannot take it if you tune into them and then you feel the truth about them, and they're always projecting and they're always in denial of how you feel about them, and they make their feelings yours, and then they manipulate you to serve their emotions. So like sometimes when they're scared, they're going to dump their scared energy, and you tune into someone who's scared here. Who's scared? And then suddenly you just have to like be responsible for making those people unafraid. And you kind of like put yourself in a very negative attention, so people won't find out that they're guilty for something. So you end up subconsciously rescuing those people from being found out or shamed or guilted. Like who left the door unlocked and then the thief came in, and then like maybe it's like a shop or something, and it's them, and then you unconsciously take the blame because you felt like, but then that's why you're emotionally drowning, Cancer, and then your logic cannot perceive the truth because your reasoning isn't connecting to your true emotions. It's connecting to the toxic people's emotions. Right, okay, so that's a very intense thingy. Okay. You reach a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Definitely, you reach a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To open up to the possibility of love, or to remain isolated to go deeper and commit to mutual passion or to walk away. This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do. What are you willing to do in a relationship? To invest and to give, and then choose. You cannot make a wrong choice. If you move forward with a relationship, know that it will be based on the truth and authenticity. You will have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone. And sometimes people have this self-sabotaging belief. They don't leave their abuser, they don't leave the scam artist, they don't leave the manipulator because they don't want to be, they're scared of being alone. And they're scared of ending things because they're afraid of intensity of genuine connection. Maybe you feel you don't deserve true love. But remember, your virtue attracted someone so desperate that they needed to manipulate and take advantage of you and take you for granted. If only you believe you deserve love, you'd start to attract people who recognize how deserving of love you are. But you need to learn and accept that you are a beautiful human who deserve love, and you're going to attract people who respect you and love you and appreciate you and value you. And you're going to learn to release the fear of not deserving love, maybe because you had a childhood trauma where you had been abandoned or rejected or neglected, and now you're going to process and explore and understand that you attracted people who don't love you because you are unconsciously, your inner child is unconsciously trapped in that belief that you don't deserve love, and then you attracted relationship that represented what you're still not healing from your childhood. And when you realize that you've attracted and you've tolerated, there's some part of your subconscious where you need to heal, to have clarity, and to gain deeper knowledge and understanding of what beliefs are sabotaging your happiness. And then you get to step up and say, actually, now I see it this way. I realize that I've been sabotaging my ability to receive love because I have a wound in my inner child that still feels that if I reject these people, I'll be alone. I'd rather be with them rather than feel alone. But then you are an adult. There are so many fishes in the sea. There are so many people in the world. 5 toxic people in a relationship doesn't matter because there's gonna be 50,000 people, 50,000 chances of meeting the right person, and because you realize that, yeah, you know what? Now I know my worth and my value, because this entire month you're going to learn to explore, to create a new belief about your self-worth. You know, I know that I deserve somebody who are attentive, are kind, are great at making me feel good as a mutual friendship, because they would see me feeling meh, and they're like, tell me a joke. So yeah, I deserve someone as good as me. So yeah, out there, 50,000 people, there's gonna be at least 5 people who can be a great friend. Like, just imagine all of the toxic people hunts for great, amazing people to be their supply. How about you hunting people who are just like you, who are as amazing, as supportive, as loving, and as kind, as humane, and as supportive, you know, with the same virtue, with the same value as you, as your friend. You can make a new relationship, and then from that healthy, patient, slow forming relationship, not an overnight, tell me everything about you. No, not like love scam anymore, but slow and steady relationships and friendship that will bloom, and it will grow, and it will be something beautiful. So All roads lead to the lesson you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on a path to a truer experience of the heart. So that is the message for this fork in the road. So all of your relationship in the past have taught you something beautiful and wonderful about your self-worth. That is a message for you. Creating a new belief for your self-worth to you guys, Cancer. So I hope this is a beautiful message for all of you. Thank you for listening in. If you want a personal reading, you can check out my website. If you want to work with me to heal any wounds, inner child healings, you need a spiritual guidance or coaching, let me know. You can also just go to my website and schedule a session by booking it at my website. So my name is Meredith Mynrose. I'm a universal healer and a peace visionary. I will see you next month. For now, take care. Much love. Goodbye.